Hello guys, Ryan from Husky Moving, Arlington, Massachusetts, here serving the greater Boston area. We are a full service moving company. We do residential, commercial, what do we do? Pianos, we do hoists, we do assembly work, we do disposal, we do handyman type jobs. We do a lot of random stuff around the house. Drink some bomb iced tea. Alright, so I just did another video, and at the tail end of the video, I was thinking to myself, I started to talk about I didn't really get into it. I decided to save it for another video. I started to talk about ways that you could potentially give things to your employees that aren't necessarily money. It's just another way to say thank you, I think. So I want to talk about that real briefly. And in the interest of transparency, I had a guy leave like 3 or 4 months ago because he wasn't getting, in his mind, he wasn't getting compensated fairly. So I want to start off the video by saying that I'm not an expert. If I was an expert, hopefully this guy wouldn't have left. So I don't want you to make it seem like I have a whole, I only have like 2 years of, that's not true. I have like 8 years of doing this kind of stuff. I used to, now that I'm running my own business, I'm completely in charge of this. But back when I was working at my last company, I was what we called a crew chief there, in charge of running the daily operations for the truck that I was driving. So I was, for all intents and purposes, I'm going to use the term the boss on that crew, but we were a team. The reason I mentioned that was because when I was not the owner of the company, but I was a crew chief, I used to do similar things for the guys when I could. And it's important, I think, because it's another way. It's like anything in life. It's another way of telling someone that you value what they're doing for you and the company and the customers. And I think that that's very important. I also think it's very important to compensate people fairly, for sure. But again, I'm new at this, so I'm just figuring that out as I go. But I do think it's pretty simple to just basically show someone that you care about them. I don't think it takes a whole lot of thought or energy or even necessarily money to make that happen. And there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. I don't know what it's going to look like for you. But for me personally, the way it's looked like has been more often than not, when I try to do it, is when we've had what I would consider to be really over the top days that required long days of like really, really taxing and grueling. So I'm not talking about like a 4-hour day or something. These are days where we work like 12 hours. It was a long, all day, just busting up and down stairs, blah, blah, blah. Those are the days more often than not where I would try to do it, or I would try to do it at the end of like what I would consider to be a hard, long run of stretch of work. So if we work, like a week straight and we're, just busting ass all week long, I would try to, at the end of the week, try to do something. And usually what that would look like would be things I've done in the past. I've gotten a bunch of guys massages so they could go and kind of decompress and relax for a week. I've gotten guys gift certificates to go to like a gaming center, because the guys I got it for in this instance, they were a little bit younger. They were like, I don't know, let's call it 20 years old or something. So that to them would probably be more enjoyable than maybe like a 30-year-old, but whatever. Like a gaming certificate, I got them like a Dave & Buster's type of scenario. So they could go and chill for a little while. Restaurant gift certificates. Concert tickets. If I knew someone was like super into a specific artist, concert tickets. Specific, like one of the things I got from my last guy that was working with me, and this is random, was he was coaching lacrosse, so I got him a piece of lacrosse gear that could theoretically like help him, or he was just proud to be like wearing. That's important. The key when you're doing this stuff is, and this should go without saying, but oftentimes it doesn't, because human nature, people only care about themselves oftentimes. Whenever you're doing something like this, the key is to forget about you. Like, you don't want to make it about you. So oftentimes when I'm getting gifts from people, I'll go, oh my God, that's so cool. I would love that. And then I literally have to stop myself and go, wait a minute, dude, this isn't about you. Like, you're trying to buy gifts for yourself now and then give them to someone else. It's not about you, it's about them. I have that conversation with myself in my own head, which is my own selfishness. but it happens. So you got to figure out, like, if you can, like, pay attention to what someone's been talking about recently, like, what are they into? What's super exciting? Have they, off the cuff, have they mentioned a movie they want to go see, or a specific artist? Are they always talking about a specific rap artist that they're always talking about? They love this person. Do they have passions outside of work that you could theoretically progress, or is there a way that you could educate them somehow? Like if they're taking classes, for example. One of the things I considered doing with the last guy I had working with me, he talked a lot about certain things. One of the things he talked about a lot was there's a specific health. It's not a health food. It's called Sweetgreen. I don't know anything about it. Apparently, it's a huge chain of stores. To be honest with you, I see it, but I've never actually been there. But apparently, it's like people who like it are like really passionate about it. So I never got a chance to do this because it wasn't a thing. But when he kept talking, he talked about it a number of times, which to him, he wasn't doing it for a reason. He was passionate about the food, and he was like a health guy. So to him, it was important. So I went home and looked and saw whether they had, whether it was a publicly traded company, to see if I could potentially buy him a couple of stocks or whatever the stock price, put some money into some stocks for him as a gift for him, because he was passionate about this. Now, again, I can't stress this strongly enough. I've never even been to the restaurant. I'm not passionate about it. I don't know it, never been there, never eaten there. If I'm being honest with you, it's one of a million different restaurants, right? But there are restaurants that I'm super passionate about, like Blaze Pizza. So if someone gave me stock in Blaze Pizza, I'm like, holy shit, this is an amazing gift. Thank you so much. So thoughtful. That was what I was trying to do. It didn't happen because it's not a public company yet. But that's kind of the point of, like, figure out what the person is passionate about. See how you can give them something other than just money to show them that you appreciate them. And if it's possible that it's not just a one-off random gift that's gonna, like, for example, in that instance, if you were able to give someone stock, that's something that over time could grow in wealth. If you have the ability to do it that way, that's fantastic too. But oftentimes, like when you're given a gift, most people think of gifts as being like, it's not the time to be prudent with your cash or your, what am I trying to say? It's a gift, like you want to make it fun, It's not supposed to be an encyclopedia. It's supposed to be like fucking Rihanna tickets or some shit. I don't know, something fun. So anyway, guys, if you have the ability to do so, if you have some extra cash sitting around, and you have even the smallest amount of gratitude for you guys and what they're doing for you to make you and your company successful, I would highly recommend trying to figure out ways on top of your payroll to also show them that they're valued to you. I hope this gave you some ideas. If you need to get a hold of me, contact information in the back of the video. Email address is there, and you can find our website, huskymoving.com. I am Ryan O'Connor, huskymoving.com. Thank you for listening. If you found any value of this, please like and subscribe. I think that's it. Thanks, guys.